How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good. The dog loves this interview.
There's something about 4 o'clock.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know what? It's a
Doing
great
good?
day, and it's Wednesday, so it's good. It's
Okay.
all good.
Yeah, I think he
Get the
wants to.
delivery here. That's all I can say.
It's all good. It's all good. Okay.
Talk for a bit. I'll see if I can mute for a minute. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. You want me to talk? I'm not a comedian, so I'm not going to say anything funny. Yeah. Yeah. No, your dog can bark. It's fine.
Well, go ahead. Ask me the first question. What do you want to talk
Okay. All right. The first question is, okay, so I feel like we're in, I feel like we've done these interviews before because we did this 1 year ago. And I'm going to ask you a lot of questions that I asked you a year ago, which is super strange because I feel like we're in purgatory again. I think I've said that before, right? So we're in between this phase of, we might be opening up, but the color-coded system is gone. So we don't know what's going on next. Anyways, the question is, what do you think will happen June 2nd to Burlington?
Well, I hope that we'll see, even before June 2nd, I do hope that we'll see reopening of outdoor amenities. And we've talked about that before. These are safe, they are necessary. People can stay, as long as people stay physically distant from people that they don't live with. So you can do pickleball, tennis, basketball, baseball. You can kick a ball on a soccer field. You can go to a golf course. There are so many things that we can safely do outside, but all of that is closed off right now. So I'm going to continue to press our friends at the province to reconsider that. I would love to see it happen before the long weekend, but certainly after June 2nd, I don't. There's no medical or scientific argument for keeping those amenities closed. I understand the concern about gatherings. We have a physical distancing bylaw, and there are other laws on the books about gatherings that it can be managed. And for the vast majority of people who will follow the rules and do those outdoor activities safely, let's not penalize them for the few folks that may and probably already are not following the rules. Let's open it up to all the responsible adults and kids out there. It is our young people that are suffering the most right now, and they are primarily suffering because of the bad behavior of some
Yeah.
limited number of adults. So that is my mission for the next 2 weeks. After June 2nd, it's hard to tell. We're not at the thresholds where the province has said they would start reopening, and that's below 1,000 infections a day. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we'll see where we are in 2 weeks. Everything's trending in the right direction. Burlington had 13 new cases. Those are the kind of numbers we saw last, August. So it's great news. The measures are working. People are doing what they need to do. So, there's reason for hope, but it's not going to be business as usual on June 2nd or 3rd.
yeah. So you think in June 2nd, if best case scenario, we can go outside and play, right? But you don't think the
At
businesses just
minimum,
going, yeah,
at minimum that, and until hospital capacity, hospital capacity is starting to return to a reasonable level. I just got off a call with our Burlington task force, which includes community partners, hospital emergency services, people, about 45 or so people across the city. We got an update from our hospital. So they are now being advised that they can start to plan for return to surgeries. There, more of the patients in our hospital are Burlington residents, so that hospital capacity, people are being able to return to their home communities. So that was the big indicator, right, of the region. So even if our numbers are lower than, say, Peel and Toronto, if hospital capacity is still critical, and the hospital system is one system that we all benefit from, then, if our hospital is needed for assistance, then you don't open restaurants. I know it maybe is counterintuitive for people, but the hospital capacity is coming down in terms of COVID patients. The ICU capacity is coming down. All of the indicators are going in the right direction. And we just gotta, we have to hang on a little bit more. And I would love to see, Halton come out of super restrictiveness, but I'm not sure if that's in our future yet until, again, more of the vaccines ramp up. So.
True. I know the province is signaling that they're not looking to open region by region this time, right? So when you heard that, does that worry you or scare you? Because I mean, I know Halton's been doing better, obviously, than PL in Toronto, right? But what are your thoughts on that?
So the issue is primarily about hospital capacity because it's shared. And, I don't know if a lot of people know how many patients have had to be transported out of their community while they're struggling and suffering with COVID. That takes them away from their support network. That's not an ideal situation for anybody. And so, hospital capacity is shared among the entire province. And so until that is reduced to a level that is manageable, it is reasonable that the region or the province stays closed. Having said that, there are local circumstances that are different, and we've heard the argument, especially when you're right smack in the GTA. If Burlington restaurants get to open and Peel doesn't, then you're just going to have all this mobility and cross-pollination, as it were. So I understand that argument. Having said that, if a restaurant is safe, it's safe, right? Yeah. And our restaurants and our businesses have done everything, gone above and beyond to make sure their staff and their customers are safe. So at the end of the day, if the businesses are taking the appropriate precautions, it will not matter if somebody is visiting from out of town. Who goes to that spot. The source of spread still is workplace, which is why we've advocated so strenuously for sick leave and gotten some progress on that. And it is people having gatherings in their own houses and backyards. And if we can eliminate that, and that's personal responsibility, that's individuals, not the workplace piece so much, but the other. We are grateful for all the essential workers who have gone to work to keep everything functioning for the rest of us who can stay home. So I'm eternally grateful to those folks, and we need to keep them safe. But those are the two biggest sources of spread, right? It isn't substantially our retail-facing businesses and their customers. And so again, as I've said throughout this, we need to follow the science and the data. And hopefully the decisions about what is open and closed will be based on the science and health data, not worries about some corollary concern. Like if we open pickleball, the seniors will, gather in large crowds. If they're staying 6 feet apart, then they're doing it the right way. It'll be the right way. So let them play. That's all I'm going to say about that.
It'll be the new the color coded system will be like zone 89. Anyways, we'll see what. So I feel this weekend is May 2-4 coming up, the Queen Victoria Day weekend. Is that correct? Queen Victoria Day. I don't think I've ever said it that way in my life. And I feel that this weekend's attitude towards what people are going to do will dictate how long we're going to stay in lockdown for, right? So it's like if people, stay at home like they're supposed to, June might be a good time. But I mean, obviously, if people just go out and just, party, we might be in it for longer. So I guess I'll ask you, with May 2-4 coming up, is there going to be more enforcement in Burlington and Halton?
So we will continue our enforcement, and yes, we will have bylaw officers out in our parks. We have park ambassadors that are on the ground that can report any serious issues of concern. But at the end of the day, I want to say this. It is a stay-at-home order. It is not a stay inside your house order. People are allowed and encouraged to get outside, and I think some folks don't fully understand that, and they see people in their cars, or they see full parking lots, or they see people walking in our parks. If they are safely distanced, that is okay. That is actually encouraged. We need to look after our physical health, our mental wellness, and our emotional health. And if you are out in a park, I encourage you to do so. Just stay 6 feet apart from somebody you don't live with. And if there's any risk of coming closer than that, put on a mask, even outside. We know how to keep ourselves safe if we just follow the health regulations. So, you know, I can expect that there will be people who see people out and about this weekend and just get concerned about the number of people they might be seeing. And I would just say, look, if they are keeping their distance and it looks like members of the same household, and that's hard to tell. You know, we have single parent families, we have blended families, we have mixed marriages where, you know, a bunch of kids of the same age. So it looks like a meet up play date, but it really isn't. You know, let's all, you know, give some grace and kindness as we head into the weekend, and make sure that for your own part, you are showing personal responsibility to stay 6 feet apart. So we're going to be actually talking on my social feeds heading into the long weekend about how to get out and about and how to safely enjoy the weekend. We want to encourage people to get outside. Because the temptation to break those rules entirely or have parties in your backyard is if you feel like you can't safely be out, or, you know, who's looking, are you going to get a talking to or something like that. And if you are, as I said, following those physical distancing provisions and not interacting with people outside your own household, then you're okay. You're making the right choice for you and for everyone around you. And so enjoy the weekend. That's my strongest message. Enjoy the weekend. Not everyone has a backyard, has a pool, has a, you know, a place that they can do it in their own spot. So come out and enjoy our parks in Burlington, and feel good about doing that. Don't feel guilty about doing that. You're not breaking any rules. You know, get out in your own neighborhood. We have parks within 5 to 10 minute walk of every resident in this community. So enjoy yourself. I hope it's great weather. Take a breather from your screen. I will enjoy not having, you know, 8 or 10 back-to-back Zoom calls.
For 3 days in a row.
I'm gonna put my phone down.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is really hard for me. I'll pick it up again because I'm compulsive that way. But you know, enjoy time with your families. People who live alone. And we've talked about this before. You can select one family, and not one family every other day, like one family that you would join with, your own or another single person household, and that's your bubble. And so even if you live alone, you don't have to be alone. There are provisions. Provisions to, like, over top of the gas line, but it happens. So barricades, signage. We have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that has come out of Burlington taxpayers' pockets exclusively to manage the parking. So we thought, let's bring in a day rate. Not uncommon. Most municipalities actually do charge for parking, but at the same time, to respect the fact that our Halton and Burlington residents, because the park is a regional park, that our Halton and Burlington residents contribute significantly to the park, both operating and capital, through their property taxes. They get 10 passes for the season. So that's the equivalent of about a month and a half free parking. If you used all 10 days, that's, 8 days a month, plus a couple extra, you can have a month and a half. And our online, so people are asking, as they should, where can I get my pass? And so we are going to be using an electronic system that we expect won't be up and ready until July. However, in the last couple of days, folks have said, well, what can you do in the interim? So I had a huddle earlier today with our staff, who are awesome, and we all put our heads together to see what we could figure out for the short term. There's the river Boston.
Boston is the name?
So here's the deal. We because we will already have our parking attendants, park ambassadors on the ground on the beach as soon as it sort of technically opens. 8 a.m. is when we start, the parking fees starts. If you are a Halton resident, show them your license plates so we know you'll get a free parking pass. Simple. Cool. So talk to one of the attendants, put it in your window. You'll be taken care of until the electronic system that we're eventually going to use gets caught up. That is what we're going to do. And that will give us some great information. We're going to print a set number And we'll print more, but we'll know how many we've printed, and therefore we'll know how many we have handed out. So we'll have an idea of how many people are visiting our parks from locally from Halton, from outside of Halton. And so we've done our best in the interim to make sure that our residents can still enjoy the beach for free if they have to drive. Now, not everyone does. So there's some other options for people. You can bike. There's lots of apartments and houses and neighborhoods within walking distance, so consider walking down to the beach. I know we do a lot, and others take transit. Transit will be running, and you can get right downtown from the Burlington Go. There is a bus that goes right along there, the number 11, that goes from downtown Burlington into Hamilton. So people can take the bus if that is convenient. And the other thing they can do is we do have a pickup and drop off area. We instituted that last year. And so if you are able to drop off your gear or you have other family members with you and leave them, you can drop them off. Park a little further afield. There is free parking throughout the downtown at select lots on the weekends. So if you're able to do a little bit of a walk and want to do a little bit of a walk, then you can still get free parking. And so it's really important to be clear that the charge is not to use the beach. The beach is free. It's not an admission fee. The beach is free. Everyone can come and use it. We welcome visitors and people from outside of our community to enjoy it. It really is only for those premium parking spaces right across from the beach. And if you can walk or get there by some other means, you can still get there for free. So it really is about parking management, and the fees are to recoup several hundred thousands of dollars that we have spent trying to manage the parking just because of it's so popular. Right? Yeah. It's so popular, and we would rather have this kind of a system than somebody ends up with a $250 ticket because they parked in the wrong spot. So, but all of those measures to give it a better experience for folks and manage the parking congestion cost a little bit of money. So we're just asking people to help contribute. And the rest of the week, still free. Monday to Friday, it's free.
And sorry, are you charging more for out-of-towners, or is it the same price?
Same price for everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
But Halton residents are eligible for those 10 free passes for the season, which effectively gives them about a month and a half free if they have to drive every time they come to the beach.
Okay.
We will be, as we kind of adjust to this new system and get more data on who's visiting our parks and from where. We're talking about, shuttles that would go from downtown or the GO stations. We're talking about some other measures as well, but we're implementing this one first. But we're always open to ideas from residents around how to make that experience better. There is a limited number of parking. What's that?
Did you say shuttle to the beach? Like you're going to create a shuttle to the beach?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow.
Potentially, like, yeah.
It sounds like a great shuttle. It's like, who wants to go to the beach?
Not a space shuttle. Like
no, I know. No, but just a bus to the beach. I mean, that sounds like, yeah, that sounds great. Okay.
Yeah. So, well, we've talked about, and there is a bus. Like I said, there are buses that go right along the beach that you can get right off there if you can catch the 11 from downtown Burlington, and it goes right into Hamilton. So you can catch it from Hamilton to the beach or from downtown Burlington to the beach, but something maybe more dedicated. So these are all ideas that we will continue to talk about and see what we can do for next year, but this is what we can do for this year.
That's awesome. Let's talk about vaccinations. So who can get vaccinated? Sorry?
Let's.
Okay, so who can get vaccinated now in Halton?
Me.
All right, you can?
I have my appointment for this Saturday. I'm very excited.
Wait, is it first or second?
First.
Oh, first.
My first, yes. Absolutely.
Oh, wow, okay.
I was back of the line. Well, not back of the line, but there were more deserving people, frontline workers, people who couldn't work from home. All those folks came first, and but then they got to my age group.
You must be young if it's that far down the line. So
young at heart.
So who else can get vaccinated right now?
18 plus as of today.
18 plus out of
18 plus, no restrictions.
Okay.
And we are talking, obviously working with Health Canada and Public Health with respect to the 12 to 17 age group. And so stay tuned. We should have some information very soon about youth vaccination clinics, and they can only get the Pfizer, and so we're in discussions about that. I'd love to get the young people vaccinated before I get mine and get them back to school, quite frankly, before the school year. That would be my dream, and I think there's a lot of people that would be on that page. So I know efforts are underway to see how we can get that online really quickly.
I heard Insaga heard that 12 plus announcements happening tomorrow. So.
Well, I've been in meetings all day, so for all I know, there's been an announcement here in Halton.
Sorry?
I'm just teasing. But that's great news. You know what? That's great news for Mississauga. And as I said, we know that our health department is working equally diligently on a plan. And so we should have some more to share very soon.
Awesome. All right. Let's talk. Here's a viewer question. Victoria Day is a holiday that's legally allowed for fireworks. Are there concerns this could create crowding in the city this weekend? Are fireworks legal to purchase in Burlington this year?
That fireworks are legal.
Okay.
They are restricted to certain days of the year for home use. You can't set them off in a public park. So you have to have a property substantial enough to set them off. Obviously, the city won't be running any fireworks exactly for the reason that you've suggested. We've done virtual in the past, and we'll do that again as part of our Canada Day celebrations, which will again be online this year. So, but yeah, just be respectful. I would encourage people to resist the temptation to set off fireworks. It is very noisy in urban areas for your neighbors' pets. And, there's lots of other ways to enjoy the holiday. So I would just encourage people to think of other ways to enjoy the holiday, but it is possible and permissible within reason. So.
Okay.
Get some sparklers and some tiaras.
Yeah, I just gotta get some water here.
No worries.
I apologize.
You were joking about the thought of wearing a tiara, but it's all right.
So Toronto has canceled everything this summer. Has Burlington, talked about this? Have you guys canceled everything to Labor Day?
We didn't really reopen things.
Okay.
So we have said to the community that in terms of larger events and festivals, whether we run them or whether they're run by independent groups like Sound of Music or Ribfest, until the province is at the stage where they allow 1,000 plus people to gather, we can't run these events. And so sure. we've known since last fall, and the bigger ones, they take a year to plan, right? You've got to book people to come. You've got to know it's going to go forward, because there's money that goes out the door, and if the event can't go forward, you're out of pocket. And so the decision was made by most of our partners, like Sound of Music, like Ribfest, months ago, that they themselves were going to not run their event this year. So. And the city won't be permitting any events until the province has increased those gathering numbers to 1,000. And we're at 0 right now. The only people you can gather with are people you live with. So they're really, we've got a ways to go before we can start having the larger gatherings. Having said that, depending on where we are in the city, if there's ability for smaller gatherings, the city does have a community development fund where we have the equivalent of $10,000 on the table. If you raise in sweat equity or donations, sponsorships, or cash $5,000, we'll match it. And so what some people have done, even throughout the pandemic, is having virtual type events, or having socially distanced, like, neighborhood driveway events. So I've seen some where everybody comes to the end of their driveway, and somebody has a piano that they've hauled out to the end of their driveway. Everyone stays on their own property, but there's music and there can be dancing, and everyone hauls out their barbecue, and it's a form of being together, without actually leaving your porch or your driveway. And so that's just one example, and we have the ability to assist with insurance, with public publicity, with some costs that people might have for those kinds of events, those neighborhood gatherings. So smaller scale quite possibly will be possible this summer. I know I've had people reach out already to say, could we do a neighborhood barbecue? It's just going to be 20 people, 8 or 10 families, whatever it is. And so we've said, well, we need the province to change the rules first, so sit tight. But if we're in a better place by July, August, absolutely. Those smaller scale gatherings will be possible, and the city stands ready to assist the community with that. We're not there yet, but we might, we'll see where we are in vaccines and our infection rates by then.
So what you're saying, New Year's Eve 2020, New Year's Eve 2021 will be a huge party.
It may well be. We will. Okay. Yes, that would be a good time for fireworks.
Yeah.
Whenever we can gather again, there will be fireworks. That'll be my personal mission, to have some public fireworks. Yes.
That's all the questions I have. Is there anything else you'd like to chat about?
Let's see. Well, we talked about growth last time, and that actually got a lot of interest. So thank you for asking that and for sharing that information. That's an ongoing conversation. So I would ask people to continue to stay involved. We have to accommodate a lot more people and jobs throughout Halton, and that will affect Burlington as well. So we've got the areas to do it, but stay involved in that dialogue.
Cool. Yeah, that article got read about 85,000 times. So,
whoa.
Yeah, so it's like, people were very, what? You know what I mean? Like, and they'd read it. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? So anyways, so thanks for letting us know about that. Is there anything else?
No, that's good. I'm just pleased. It's one of the few times that people are, I want to read about the integrated growth management status.
Well, it is exciting.
GMS and how the MTSAs are going to work on the ROPR 48. These are and to get 85,000 people reading that. Yay.
Yeah, 85,000 people read it. So it was crazy. One of the best read Halton articles we've ever had. So in Halton, but
excellent.
Yeah.
Great.
Anything else you'd like to chat about?
That's it for me.
That's it. Okay. All right.
Enjoy the long weekend safely. I hope you have a great one. And everybody who's tuning in, I hope you have a great long weekend. We all deserve some sunshine, kindness and fresh air in our world. So enjoy.
Awesome. Mayor, thank you so much once again, and have an awesome long weekend.
You too. See you, Khaled.
Bye.